I'm going to take a guess on how many times you're going to get shot going in.
You can't touch this.
Well, good morning. We had an exciting day yesterday. My production schedule went from about 6 in the morning until 1 in the morning the next day, and the reason was we were turning out an incredible amount of material due to what Brother Theo and Gypsy, Chappie Gypsy, Doc Green, all of us, we're embarking on pushing the butcher shop up the ladder just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, we're going to address this Amy Sharon thing here. Now, what Amy was doing last night with that little gleeful thing that she put up is called damage control. Because in spite of her being a very famous cosmetic artist and a very famous father, very famous radio shows and all that kind of stuff, yesterday was the first time in Amy's life that she was ever hit by a consolidated effort from major networks. Now, that's a fact. At Doc's prodding, I went ahead and put her story in the streets, so to speak, from a radio broadcast from her own town, right under her own nose. Now, she come back with, we're going to go back to the shed, got to do that, and I want to say something. She's always saying that I'm stalking, that I'm cyberbullying, no. Last night, she threatened me again. Yet again, she threatened me. It's as simple as that. In order to be accused legally or whatever of stealing something, first you have to steal it. Again, I reiterate, I did not go over to the house and drop that stuff off with them. I told a man who is now deceased, Sonny, take them somewhere and let them put their stuff up. They said they got to get out of that truck. And Sonny and Steve Steele made the decision, and they took the truck to another location and they unloaded it. It's simple. I didn't live there. That's why I was in this house right here. While they were unloading the truck, I was on the porch that I'm looking at right now, drinking whiskey. It's as simple as that. I had nothing to do with the disposition of any of her items. With the evidence that we have that's been going up on these videos, her being put into a mental hospital, her conviction and doing time in the county jail for harassing, just like she's accusing me of doing. Okay, all these things are real documents. You can see in any of the videos. Look at the Diary of a Mad Woman movie that came out yesterday, and just start going through there. It's all simple. So, Amy, if you will simply listen to me and watch what I'm doing, you might learn a little bit about production. Do you think that I sit down here and I just come up with this stuff off the top of my head with no clearance, no advice, no anything? And that couldn't be further from the truth. When I write an article or I put up a video or I come up with an idea, I put it out there, and I have not one but two staffs. I guess three staffs if you count the Raging Elephants people. Two in Houston and one in Salt Lake City. Not to mention I have friends out in LA. If I make a mistake or if I step over the line or I say something that's a little slanderous or something, I get almost immediate input. Hey, you need to change that to this or do this with that. And I do. I'm also covered by, you're always saying you've got very famous lawyers and very famous judges. Well, I don't know about are famous, but I'm covered. I'm covered. When Ted and I go into one of these things where we get a story idea, or like the Utah thing of last year, we're very, very, very aware that sometimes we have to step a little over the line, a little behind the line, stuff like that. So we're always double checking what we do. With the Utah thing, same thing. We go by the same motto that the CPS up there. It's all about the children. So whatever you do, you do it to help save the children. I have a little sub-motto of mine. I just play by the rules they set. Simple as that. So yeah, Amy, there's some crap going on. But I'm not Well, I guess you could say I'm watching you, I'm stalking you. But when I wake up in the morning with my first cup of coffee after editing for 6 freaking hours last night, and I'm groggy, and I see you there laughing and giggling that you've got an official police report and blah, 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 which I've seen police report numbers in Bell County, and the first numbers usually identify the date. Now, there's an 18 in there, but it doesn't really correlate with anything I've ever seen. Also, Brother Theo, who is in touch with law enforcement, both local, state, and federal, most of the time. Okay, when I do something, he watches what I do, and he makes sure that everything's cool. So I'm under almost daily scrutiny. Now, I'm not going to sit here and go over and over and over and bore everybody who's saying that I didn't steal your stuff. I didn't steal your stuff, but I tell you what. You have attacked people. You've harassed people. I learned yesterday from your text and everything that a young man said you actually threatened to kill his family. Okay, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to take off after you with a meat hook, so, figuratively speaking. Of course I am. Of course I am. That's what I do. And as long as you keep running me your mouth and feeding me story, I'm going to keep doing it, because what's happened, Amy, is you have developed legs. So that's very important in the journalism business, legs. In other words, you can have a story. I thought Scott Bensek was a big story. He was a big story. He stole millions of dollars. He lived at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, okay? But for some reason, his story never would catch. People just got bored with reading it. But I'm going to give you credit, sister. You're not bored. Because, man, I tell you what, there ain't nothing sells better than crazy. See, Scott wasn't crazy. He was a real criminal. He was a real competence man. He sold land he didn't even own. He took people's Social Security checks as a down payment and stuff like that. So that's real. That's the real deal there. But it didn't have any legs. It wasn't interesting. Okay? You're interesting in that you are a pathological liar and you're easy to figure out. Okay. Oh, one other little thing. I have subscribers. Okay. I keep alluding to people I know within the CPS in Texas, and one of my subscribers is, there. And these people, some of them are very highly placed, and they read. Like today, we put out a section of my book, Cigar Box, and these people read those things. Well, yesterday, as you know, I did an edit of the amazing Doc Green show on American Voice Radio, and my part, so people could see what I did yesterday. And you were a central part of that, okay? So these people within the CPS that follow me for entertainment purposes and everything, they know all about you. And I don't think they're predisposition is to let you within 500 yards of Markel. I mean, that's just my opinion. They might turn it over to you tomorrow. Now, okay, subject number 2, Johnny Vodka. Yeah, I'm going to go there. I don't really believe that you wrote that little thing on there that came up this morning. Okay, because I'm a writer. I write books and things and all that, and I know style. The non-verbiage, the misspelling, some of the stuff and everything smacks of Amy Sharon. Okay, but seeing as you let it go up and put your face all over it, I'm going to go ahead and let you own it. Okay? Don't ever threaten anybody over the internet like that. Don't do it, because you've already proved that when the homeboys show up, you run out in your underwear. Okay, we already know that. Okay, so don't act bad. It's not becoming of you. Apparently, I heard. So I didn't actually watch the whole video. She had like an hour video, and I get tired of listening to her. But apparently, you drank a bad beer. A bad beer. And it caused you to have an allergic reaction, and your blood pressure went down. You had to, the paramedics wouldn't take you to the hospital, so the cop took you to the hospital and everything. And then apparently, from the 911 tapes that have now become public, and by the way, I did not hack those. They were this public. A 911 tape is public, just by virtue of being a 911 tape. Okay, you ever notice when you have a mass shooting or some horrific thing that makes the national news, almost within 24 hours, CNBC and Fox and everybody else has the 911 tape, because the authorities are obligated to turn those over. It's public information. Okay. Anyway, apparently, from the 911 tapes that I heard, that after you got your allergic reaction to that beer, Amy was stomping around without the keys, and you were out there howling at the moon or something. Young man, over the Christmas holiday, I drank 2 handles and 1/5 of Irish whiskey. And my nose is right there. I'm sorry you can't drink a beer, boy. I'm sorry. I know you Italian boys are supposed to be, all tough and everything like that. I would suggest that you stick with Diet Dr. Pepper. Capisci paesano?